A pleasant morning to each and everyone. My name is Jessamiah B Betil. So now let me discuss about the topic, the self, society, and culture. So what comes up to our mind if we talk about the self, society, and culture? So for today's topic, we discuss the self, society, and culture characteristic or what the relation between the two. So self, society have a very close relationship. Society has a custom and regulations, so uncertain rules that people need to follow. Self also can have this trait, and this is why they are similar to each other. Self can contribute to self. We were able to describe and discuss different ways by which the society and society shape ourselves, and we will examine ourselves in the different views of the self. So now let me discuss what is the self. Self is the image we have of ourselves. Like for example, I am self, I am intelligent, beautiful, ugly, talented, selfish, and kind. Although self is separate, where it is distinct for others. Example, I'm charmed. We're defining on who we are just to know what is our name is. Self-contained or distinct with its own thoughts, characteristic, and violation. So self-contained is that is coming for you or our own idea or decision. For being independent does not require any other self to exist. Like ourself doesn't need another self for our identity to exist. Consistent. Our personality is enduring, expected to persist for quiet, some true. So consistently, or the self means that particular self traits, characteristic, and potentials. Next is the unitary. Unitary is the center of all experiences and thoughts. That means we are all the center of our experiences and thoughts, which we ourselves do on our experience in emotions, thoughts, and etc. Private. Self is private. We're isolated from the external world, so it means that our self lives within its own world. The self is different by the environment. So the self is an individual as the object of its own reflective consciousness. Since the self is a reference by a subject to same subject, this reference is necessarily subjective. The sense of having a self or selfhood should, however, not be confused with subjectivity itself. Now, let us discuss the different aspects of the self, and one of these is the social constructivist. It is an argue that the self should be seen, a static entity that stays constant, true and true, where the self has to be seen as something that is increasing by the flux. Where a self can be changed, or it doesn't mean that you need to be changed at all, but in a constant struggle with external reality and malleable in its dealing with the society. That now, what would be our struggle in life? So that we're adjusting with the pandemic, or now that we're adjusting with a new lifestyle in life, which is the new normal. So that it should look like on how to be seen in ourselves. Not totally adjusting, but we are come up with in our society. So we ourselves play different roles and act in different ways depending on our circumstances. Like we act different roles in our perspective, like in our friends and also in siblings, but not the same as act with perspective into our parents. With it can deal with our attitude, which depending with the circumstances, like we are self-strict and etc., that it can define as a depending with the situation. All of this will adjusting and developing ourselves in different person, which adjusting in a different situation. Self-knowledge makes you independent of the opinion of others. If you know that works for you, what is good for you, and therefore isn't it, is relevant what others might think and advise. You are in charge of your thoughts and your own personality. So as a person, it's good to be always an optimistic person, to face all the problems to face all trials and circumstances that comes to your life. Because whether you like it or not, we can encounter a lot of problems in our life. And having a circle of friends, and having a family, and having loved ones, they can help you. They are the one who will be your strength and your motivation for being successful in life. So that's all for discussion. And this morning, I hope that you have something learned in our discussion. That's all. Thank you, and God bless us, everyone.